Hello, friends and fays. I am Forest Faye Feather, and I wanted to talk about how to increase your confidence, how to increase your self-esteem. Last year, a lot has happened in my life, and some of it has caused me to lose self-esteem, which is totally unlike me because I love myself. I know that it can feel really uncomfortable when you are around a bunch of people and you're just comparing yourself to them, or on social media and you're comparing yourself, and sometimes you find yourself, wow, I'm doing really great in life right now, and then the next year something happens and it just gets crazy, and life is a roller coaster. So let's get into it. The first thing I wanted to talk about is why do we lose self-esteem? What happens? Because if you see children, they're running around saying what they want. They know their power. You grow up and you start to learn about what other people think is cool, or what other people think is beautiful, or maybe your parents have a certain expectation of you, and then you get bombarded with adult things, and things just start to throw you down, and you have to be really gentle with yourself and work with yourself and figure out what really makes you you. So a few things that I know has happened in my life is when I fail at something, when I have high expectations for something that I've put a lot of energy into, and it doesn't go the way that I thought it was. It doesn't make me feel the way that I thought it was going to make me feel. It doesn't give me that higher level that I was looking for, whatever that means. I know that sometimes I've stayed in my comfort zone, even though I really wanted to try something new. I said no. That brings down my self-esteem meter. It's almost like when you've been doing really well and you've been having a lot of wins, your self-esteem meter is up here. And you fail and you're like, oh man, well, that kind of sucks. Now I'm a little bit worried to take risks. Well, I'm going to take a risk here again. I'm going to ask that person out. I'm going to go learn something new, and maybe you weren't good at it right away. Boom, a little bit lower. Oh, well, okay, that's a little bit frustrating, but I'm still able to take risks. I'm still going to try. And then you take another risk and it doesn't work out the way you expected it to, and down, down. Once your meter gets down to a certain point, it's almost like you've ran out of the savings of your self-esteem and you're kind of worried to take more risks. So then we start to become more inconsistent with ourselves. We aren't trusting ourselves because we're worried about failure. We're worried about our expectations not being met. We're worried about all these things. It's kind of funny because what's going to bring us back into alignment with a high confidence is to create more consistency with yourself, following through. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If your significant other said they were going to cook and then clean up the mess in the kitchen, and 3 days pass by and nobody cleaned the kitchen, you'd be pretty upset. And then maybe they say they're going to do something specific for your birthday and they don't do it. You get a little bit more upset, so you're starting to not trust that they're doing what they're saying. When your actions start to fall out of integrity with your intentions, that's when we start to see our self-esteem meter go down. So I'd like to challenge you to maybe creating one thing a day that you can be consistent with. Even if it's something as simple as, I'm going to drink more water every day. That's a very simple way to start creating consistency with yourself. And this leads me into cultivating positive self-talk. To cultivate positive self-talk, yes, positive affirmations like words are a good tool to really believe those things and change your belief. Because if you have low self-esteem, you probably don't feel very lovable right now. It's more than just saying it to yourself. You need to affirm these things. So you need to start creating more credibility with yourself. So if you say, I am loved, what's something that you can do every day that's loving to yourself? What's something you can do that's just for you? It could really be anything. Anything that makes you feel loved, do that for yourself. Because if you're finding yourself wanting to cultivate a new belief system of how you see yourself, you're going to have to take the actions that align with who that is, that aligns with what that belief actually says. If you want to work out more, eat healthier, and every day you wake up saying you're going to do that and you don't, that's depleting your self-esteem meter once again. You're dishonoring yourself by doing that, and doing it over and over is going to create more space between you and yourself. You're not going to have a healthy relationship with yourself or anybody else if you don't say what you do and do what you say. This starts to bleed into one of my favorite words of affirmations, and this is to put your hand on your heart, close your eyes, and I like to just say, I love you, Feather, over and over and over. Obviously, you would put your name in there, but really telling yourself that you love yourself. And I've found with this practice, sometimes I don't believe it. Sometimes I'm sitting there, I say it 20 times in a row, and I'm like, this isn't happening today. I need someone else to tell me they love me. I've also found that doing so, I start to create that relationship where it's almost like a moment that I'm like, I love you, and I'm listening to you, and I hear you, and I've got you. I do this with my loved ones. Why not do it with myself? I'd also like to share that when I start to get really hard on myself, I like to think about my inner child. I am my own child. I have a child within me. So do you. And how would you talk to her or him? How would you talk to your child? That's the way you should talk to yourself. Because if your child came to you and was telling you that they didn't feel good enough, they didn't feel confident, their self-esteem was low, they didn't know what to do, they failed at this thing and that thing, and they just feel lost, how would you talk to your child? You wouldn't tell them that they're stupid or dumb or doing the wrong thing. You would encourage them. You would tell them it's okay. You would tell them it'll get better. You will tell them that they are amazing and that it's okay to fail. You would boost their confidence, or at least try to. I actually keep a picture of me as a child holding a gardener snake because I think it's the cutest picture of me ever. I keep this picture on my altar to remind me that that's me. That's who I'm taking care of. I don't know about you, but anytime I look at a child, I can't be mean to them. Always remember that when you're talking to yourself, you're talking to your child. And how would you treat your child? One last little thing that I've always found to make a huge difference in my confidence, and I never really realized it until I didn't have access to this. I really enjoy having a large body size mirror. I use dance as a practice for so many things. I move my body when I'm sad, I move my body when I'm happy, I move my body to move the energy in my body when I feel stagnant. I move to move those tears out. I move when I'm uncomfortable in life, but I want to embody feeling where I'm at and accepting it. So I like to dance in front of mirrors. I will eye gaze with myself. I will talk to myself out loud in the mirror. I've found that those practices just It's just like doing it with your loved ones, with your friends, with your family, interacting with yourself while looking at yourself. For me, it's been a very, very powerful practice. And I still do it even with the small bathroom mirror, but it's really amazing to have a mirror. Even practicing like dancing naked in front of the mirror, seeing all your curves, everything that you love. Even if you don't love your body right now, you can tell yourself, wow, these legs take me everywhere. These hands do everything for me. I have a I have a pair of lungs that breathe for me. I have a tummy that eats up yummy food. So mirror practice is definitely a number one in my opinion for increasing self-confidence, self-esteem, and cultivating a healthy relationship with yourself. Just to reiterate at the end of this video, the things we went over is creating more follow through, more consistency with yourself by cultivating positive self affirmations through actions. Tell yourself that you love yourself. Even if you don't believe it, tell yourself that you love yourself. And you know what? Go on OfferUp and find some cheap mirror to put up in your room so you can wake up, look at the love of your life every day, and tell her or him how amazing they are. And fill up that self-esteem meter again because you're worth it. You're worth it and you know how to do it. I also want to suggest that through these practices, you'll find things that work for you and you'll find things that don't work for you. You'll find things that you think are silly. You'll find things that you think are too serious. You'll find the things that work for you, and these are just the things that have worked for me to find deeper things that I find help me feel confident and beautiful in my skin and keep the mindset that I have anything and everything available to me. I can do anything. I have everything I need to do those things. Then there comes gratitude. Trying to think, is there anything else? Life is a roller coaster, and I just felt inspired to start sharing more about my journey and how I've navigated it. So let me know in the comments what you think of this video. Please only give me kind feedback as I am a very sensitive human. Stay tuned for my next video.